Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Citizen Fujitsubo, Fujitsubo, so Fujitsubo, NB6021-68L. MSRP for this watch is $995. This watch is on loan from Saltzman's Watches. And I have a discount code that should get you 20% off this watch. That's WTWT23. I'll put that in the description below. This is an ISO compliant diver. We have sapphire crystal, aluminum bezel insert, blue dial with the blue bezel insert. It's a nice, I would say like a grayish blue color. It's not a bright blue, but it has the definitely a blue color to it. Divers 200 meter titanium, so titanium case and bracelet. And this is super titanium, so it has a hardened coating on here, and that makes it 5 times harder than stainless steel. So you won't get too many scratches on this watch. It can still scratch, just a lot less likely to get scratched and a lot harder to scratch it. So we have applied indices. We have a date window there at 3 o'clock, framed in date window, and it does have a lume indice there. This watch is an ISO compliant diver. So part of that is that you have to have a indice at all 12 locations, a lumed indice at all 12 locations on the dial here. Bezel action is light, but the bezel is also kind of slippery. It's not super grippy, so it's nice that it has a light bezel action, and it does feel like titanium. It just feels, it's light to turn, but also it feels lightweight. It's kind of hard to explain. You'd have to feel that in person for yourself, but you can definitely tell that it's a titanium diver. Very lightweight. This watch weighs in at 111 grams, and right now I'm wearing a very similar size watch, which is size for my wrist, and this watch weighs in at 158 grams. So this watch with all the links is much lighter than this watch with being sized for my 6.5 inch wrist. So very similar in size, 41 millimeter. This one's a bit thicker, but you can see very similar styling. This is the NY0125-83, I believe. So $250 for this currently, and about $800 for this one. But quite a bit nicer watch here. I'll compare these further in a future video. So let's set this off to the side. This has the Miyota 9015 movement, 8 beats per second, 42 hours power reserve, and accuracy is -10 +20. As I mentioned, the super titanium. I could not find out what grade of titanium this is. I'm going to guess it's a grade 2 titanium, just based on the coloring and also the fact that it's hardened. I don't know of anyone that hardens grade 5 titanium. Grade 5 is already about twice as hard as grade 2 titanium. So we have a screw down side crown, 200 meters water resistance, and we have solid end links, solid links, which are held in place by what I believe to be pin and collar. I don't see any splits on them, and I don't see any screw heads, so I'm going to say that this is pin and collar. We have a real nice clasp here. We have the stamped safety clasp. This portion stamped, these two portions here are milled, and then we have this ratcheting system. So you pull these forward, and then you can pull the clasp out. Gives you, I would say, probably about an inch of adjustment here. You can just push it back in. So, nice system. If you want it to be a little easier to adjust, you can just push that. Let's see, what do we have here on the clasp? Citizen base titanium band China. So yeah, everything on here is titanium, so very nice. Super lightweight again, 110 grams. If you were just to hold the watch by itself, you may not think it's that light, but if you were to have been wearing this watch previously or any other stainless steel watch and pick this one up, it's amazingly light. So the dimensions, lug to lug on the male end link, 54 millimeter, 48.8 on the case tip to tip here, lug to lug, 41 millimeter bezel diameter. The case is a little bit less wide. You can get a hold of this, but like I said, it's just a little bit too smooth. The knurling is not all that pronounced. I'm not sure if that's the nature of it being titanium or what's going on there. Also, it's polished, so the hardness coating here, you can do feel a little bit of grippiness compared to just the polished bezel. 60 click bezel as well. 12.3 millimeter thick, so fairly thin for a 200 meter diver. I almost said millimeter. 200 meter diver at 12.3 millimeter thick, just pretty good. 20 millimeter lug width, and this band does taper down to 18 millimeter. And that crown's a little bit small, 5.5 millimeter crown. I would expect it to be closer to 7. Not a big deal. It looks okay on this watch, so perhaps that's what they're going for, is keeping it proportional with the mid case here. Let's take a look at the case back. Then we'll get it on wrist and check out the lume. So Citizen Divers Watch 200 meter. Duratect is the hardness coating for the super titanium. Japan movement. Magnetic resistance to, I think, AM. I don't know if that's Gauss or what that is, but there is that information there. And then it says base titanium and sapphire. And that's the movement number, the 90. Let me zoom in. Come on. Right there, where it says 9015, that's the movement number. Alright, let's get this on wrist, and then we will check out the lume. So, I can't size it. It's on loan, again, from Saltzman's, but it feels super lightweight. I'm sure it'd be very comfortable on wrist. You do get these half links here too, so you can get it kind of sized into what you need. It has 2 half links, one on this side, one on the other side right there. And the Citizen pin and collar is not that big of a deal, the size. For some reason, the Seiko pin and collar is kind of a pain to do, but the Citizen is not a problem. So I think it's a good looking watch. I appreciate the blue. It's not a bright blue, it's not in your face, but when you get out in the sunlight or in the studio lighting here, it's a nice shade of blue. Alright, let's pause the video and take a look at the lume. Okay, we have the Citizen on the left and my Seiko SKX 01009 on the right. The lume's good on the Citizen. Citizen's sometimes hit or miss, but the lume, I have no complaints with the lume on this Super Titanium Promaster Citizen diver here. It's brighter than the SKX lume. So, good job with the lume here. And you can see the 3 o'clock indice is lumed as well, unlike the lume on my SKX 009. Well, that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.